I set out first to write a book because I was shocked myself when I first learned about the extent of human trafficking. Together with two friends that are at USF, I started this campaign called Not for Sale.
First, we invited some organizations to be part of the campaign. They supported the campaign. And then the campaign became its own entity.
Here you have the trade that makes the third most money in the world, $32 billion a year, behind arms and behind drugs. And people don't know about it.
I'm convinced that students undervalue their capacity to change the world. They feel like they don't have anything to offer. Well, maybe once I get my degree, or maybe once I've worked for 20 years, and I really think they sell themselves short.
The students don't realize that what they do for class can serve the world, can serve society.
And that's really why we started working with USF and Erasmus students, because they, whether they know it or not, have the power to change the world around us.
And when I took this challenge to the USF sophomores in my class, there's about 16 of them, all sophomores, and said, look, you're going to be breaking uncharted territory. You're going to find out where slavery is happening. At first, what are we going to do? What can I do? I'm only a sophomore. I'm 19 years old. Just began giving them tools, equipping them, giving them confidence. And it was just amazing what they began to do.
The way we started it was we each divided our roles in the class. People were researchers, interviewers,
investigators who would actually go to different massage parlors that we thought might be good leads. And some other people were in charge of photography or videotaping and documenting. And there was one person in charge of directing everybody and making sure everybody was on task. It made us really organized, for one thing. And so we knew what everybody was doing. They always had something to do, and they knew what it had, and they knew what it was.
The whole issue of trafficking we had been studying all year, and it was great that we could actually finally put that into action and make some changes in our own city. We interviewed Meredith May, who did a 3-part series on human trafficking, and so that was kind of a very big interview for us because we got to see exactly how she went about doing it and finding it out, and that helped us a lot to go our own path and do it.
People do have the right to have a business, and you have to prove that they're doing something illegal before you can shut them down. I would sit outside of massage parlors at night and just watch the men come and go and time them, like how many men are coming in and out.
Yeah, we were thinking.
But don't go alone, like always go in pairs, and park away from it so that you can still see the door, but that you can step on the gas if you need to leave quickly. I mean, just little things like that.
And then we were looking at ads for massage parlors on like the Bay Guardian, SF Weekly, and Craigslist. And what we would do is compare each week's ad. Like there would be the same ad, but they would change their name but have the same address or something, or change the picture. Just really sketchy things that you would have to look for over a couple of weeks and notice that this isn't consistent, there's something sketchy about it.
The massage parlor that we ended up really surveilling, we found because it was listed in all 3 of those places, and particularly on Craigslist, they had a lot of photos and advertising. A lot, like 100 a day or something.
Okay, I found 5 different ads, and one was you're an Asian princess, Zenny, 22 years old, perfect dancer, perfect body, blah, blah, blah. And then there's 3 of these are the same, and one of them had the address, and then the rest of them had the same phone number but without an address.
So my students came to me out of Erasmus and said, look, we're pretty sure that there's trafficking happening from Asia into the United States, young girls at this massage parlor. They found places, so we started to go undercover and gather evidence, and did indeed find that these girls were trafficked, and gathered that evidence, did filming of it.
We took shifts outside rotating for an hour or 2 with pairs so that we weren't by ourselves. And we did that for 24 hours. outside of a particular one in the city, and we watched for Johns who would come in to the store and who would come out, and at closing times or opening times who would be coming in and out too.
And it was pretty shady looking, like, honestly, because first of all, there's bars on the window, there were bars on the door. If you wanted to get in, you had to buzz to get in. There's a camera that wasn't really concealed, but was just looking directly right at you. So whoever was in charge of that building wanted to see who was going to come in and at what time.
And for the next 24 hours, they took 2-hour shifts and they filmed it. And indeed, no girl left. The mommy som, or the manager, owner, the brothel owner left. The security guy left, would lock the door and lock these girls in. They stayed there. So all the signs of trafficking. I have to hand it to our students. I mean, they came up with that as well as other scenarios of trafficking. And it proved to me that other students and faculty working together all over the U.S. could map and take responsibility for their own area.
It was really legit and something was going on, and everything we were looking at, like, really, I think, motivated us all. And so I felt compelled and, like, passionate about it, you know.
They could do that. They found slavery here. They raised awareness about the issue. Now everyone talks about slavery in San Francisco.
Not for Sale Day was a dynamic day in which the Erasmus students were able to really showcase all the things they had done in that year.
We had a little booth with our mapping project going on. They were selling the books. It was just a big deal. The whole school was covered in orange for the campaign.
The Erasmus, when they started doing research, there was an athlete in that group, and she also wanted to do something. I mean, she's an athlete. Her thoughts were about how can we bring athletes into the cause. So they created free to play where they celebrate that they are free to play. And also remember the people that are not free to play. She organized all the athletes here on campus with that idea.
And so we had all the soccer teams, girls and guys from USF in Harney Plaza, all wearing their free-to-play shirts.
That's one thing I think that Not for Sale has done very well, is to say, you know what, no matter what your passion is, whenever what you love to do or you're good at, that can be used to fight slavery and free people.
So we had a kind of a mini press conference. People just stood up and talked about it.
It really captured the imagination of the San Francisco media, and they could talk to students rather than just talking to a faculty member. It was really, they were blown away to talk to students.
I had never seen that many students out in Harney Plaza, the main plaza, there just to see what was going on. I've never seen that many students out there.
Whereas the undergraduate student body of the University of San Francisco declares itself the first abolitionist university student body in the United States. Now, therefore, be it resolved, Gavin Newsom, Mayor of the City and County of San Francisco, do hereby proclaim today, April 26, 2007, as Not for Sale Day in San Francisco.